Today I have 3 great recipes for your game day weekend if you're having a crowd or just for your family. Yummy potato poppers, low-carb taco soup, which is a Pinterest-inspired recipe, and my own recipe for chicken tenders that are low-carb. I'm Bargain Bluebird, home and DIY. I do decorating, DIY, and shopping videos, and occasionally I do food videos, especially when it's a big game day weekend. Trust me, you will love these recipes. All right, we're starting with the potato poppers, so let's go ahead and go over the ingredients. You need 1 package of frozen diced hash browns. I have the Southern style, that's what my store had. And then after you get that, you make sure you get the diced ones. And then you want to get a bunch of green onions. You want 4 tablespoons of melted butter. You want real bacon bits, but I have the real ones here. You want 2 containers of sour cream. You need 16 ounce, and then you need 8 more ounces. I just have 2 16-ounce containers here. And then you want 20 medium-sized tortillas. And then you want a package of Colby Jack cheese, or any cheese you want. I have Colby Jack. It calls for 5 cups. This is a 4-cup bag. I find that this is adequate enough for me. So that is the ingredients that you need, and let's go ahead and get started with this recipe. We are going to go ahead and set our oven to 350. All right, we're going to cook the diced hash browns according to the package directions. So we have 3 tablespoons of oil in here. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn this on medium heat. We're going to heat it up to medium. And we're going to go ahead and put our hash browns in. And so we're just cooking these according to the package directions. So we're going to get them in the pan here with the oil. And then we're going to go ahead and I'm going to spread them out flat. We let them cook. Then you flip them over about halfway. We're going to cook them for about 10-15 minutes. We're going to go ahead and we're going to put the lid on this. A different idea that I had was I saw the potatoes O'Brien diced in the store. And those had peppers and they had onions in it already. So if you didn't want to cut up onions and you didn't mind putting peppers in it too, you could try the potatoes O'Brien, and that would give you a little bit of a shortcut. I've never done it that way, but I thought I would suggest it because it would be a different way of doing it, and it might turn out just as nice. Our potatoes are done, so we're going to go ahead now and we're going to put our filling together. My potatoes are already in the bowl here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to add our sour cream in. And you need a pretty big bowl for this because all of these ingredients, it really gets to be quite a lot. So make sure you have a large bowl. And then we're going to add in the green onions. Basically, we're adding in all of the rest of our ingredients. This entire package of cheese here, as well as the entire package of the bacon bits. We're going to mix that in there, and when we get all of that in there, we're just going to go ahead and mix it up. So the potato poppers recipe is a recipe that I got from a friend a few years ago, and we just love it. It's so good. I'm going to take a large sheet pan, and I'm going to line it with foil. Now we're going to begin filling our tortillas. So we're just going to take a spoon and fill it up in the middle, but don't overfill it because we're going to be wrapping this up. So just about like that, like I'm showing you, we're going to go ahead and wrap this tortilla up. We're going to go ahead and we're going to place it seam side down on our tray here. lastly, before we pop it in the oven, we're going to go ahead and take our 4 tablespoons of melted butter and we're going to brush it on all of these tortillas here. We're going to put them in the oven at 350 for 15 minutes. Let them sit 5 minutes before serving them, and you add the rest of the sour cream in with them. So this is so delicious. These are wonderful cheesy potato poppers, and it'd be awesome to have if you're having a group of people over. Definitely feed a crowd. And they freeze well. Okay, we're going to do a low-carb version of chicken tenders. So you need some chicken tenders, you need oregano, paprika, black pepper, salt, Parmesan cheese, almond flour, and an egg. And so I kind of came up with this. I was reading through some other recipes, and I didn't exactly like this or that about each of these recipes, so I just kind of came up with my own here. And so I know to use the almond flour and then the Parmesan cheese, and then we don't use any breadcrumbs because we're trying to do low carb. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get this recipe started. So we're heating our oven to 350, and we should probably cook these for about half an hour. All right, we're going to take half a cup of almond flour, and to that we're going to add half a cup of Parmesan cheese. I have a little extra here, but that's okay. My family really likes Parmesan cheese. I ended up doing about 2 teaspoons of paprika. Doesn't look like it here, and then about 1 teaspoon of oregano. I didn't really want too much of the oregano. Like I said, I am kind of winging it here. Some pepper to taste and about half a teaspoon of salt. So I started to mix that up, and then I decided that it needed a little bit more paprika. So you will see me shortly here. I'm going to add a little bit more paprika to it. And then I added more again when it was in the oven, so I'm going to say in total about 2 teaspoons of paprika. Mix that all up real well, and then you're going to go ahead and you're going to take a plate after you mix that up, and you're going to pour it on the plate so that you can stick the chicken pieces on the plate and dredge it through the dry mixture there. All right, I'm going to take this kind of wide bowl. I'm going to crack my egg in here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to kind of scramble that a little bit. And I'm just using one. And it worked just fine. So then we're just going to go ahead and we're going to put our chicken strips on I have parchment paper and I have oil on the bottom there. We're going to pop these in the oven for a half an hour, and we're going to flip them over halfway through. I like to do this because I don't like them to get mushy on the bottom. Now my oven takes a long time, so I actually ended up cooking mine for about 40 minutes. All right, here they are. They're all done and they're plated, and I like to serve mine with a spicy brown mustard and a sugar-free barbecue here that my husband likes to use because he is doing the low-carb diet. And my husband and my son really liked these, so that they gave it a thumbs up, so that made me happy, and I think that you might enjoy them too. Here are all our spices that we will be using: oregano, chili powder, onion powder, paprika, salt, cumin, garlic powder, and black pepper. That's for the taco seasoning. For the actual soup, we're using 2 pounds of ground beef, 85/15. We're using Rotel mild diced tomatoes and green chilies, 1 onion. Sometimes I use less than 1 onion because I don't like things too oniony. Cream cheese, softened, minced garlic, and one of these larger containers of beef broth. Beef broth. It actually asks for 4 cups in the recipe, and that's 32 ounces there, so that's about what that is. We're also going to be adding some cilantro. You're going to want sour cream, avocado, cheese. If you're going to keep it low carb, you don't want chips with it, obviously, but you could add chips or have chips for people who are not doing low carb. Either way, low carb or not, people will love it. It's really yummy. 2 teaspoons of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of cumin, half a teaspoon of onion powder, half a teaspoon of oregano, half a teaspoon of paprika, half a teaspoon of salt, and 1/4 of a teaspoon of pepper. Dice up your onion, add it to your pot. So this calls for 3 cloves of garlic, minced. I have the minced garlic here in a container. So I just kind of add, I add a little bit less than what they recommend because I don't like things quite as spicy as some people might. So I don't know, this is probably, I don't know if that's like 1 clove. I might add a little bit more. I just kind of eyeball this really because I don't actually have the cloves and the whole garlic to count it and mince it myself. So, okay, I did end up adding a little bit more. We're going to add our beef, and then we're going to cook all of this. We're going to cook this on medium heat. Drain the grease and add the meat back into the pan. Turn the burner to low this time. To that, we're going to add the taco seasoning that we made. And the cream and the softened cream cheese. All right, that is pretty much melted all together. We're going to transfer this to the slow cooker. To the beef mixture, we're going to add 2 cans of the Rotel. They want half a cup of cilantro, and I'm actually using a little bit less than that because it was, last time I made it, it was really spicy, and I don't know that everybody likes it that spicy. I don't like it that spicy, so I'm taming it down a little bit. I'm adding a little bit less cilantro, so I don't know, that might be 1/4 of a cup. And then we're going to add our beef broth. Give it a stir. Pop the lid on. We're going to put this on high for 2 hours, or you can put it on low for 4 hours. I'm heating it up on high today. And there you have low carb taco soup. It's so yummy. Trust me, of any of these 3 recipes, you'll love this one the best.